life goes on. For the lovers, yeah, life goes on. It goes on, yeah, life goes on. If you live it, yeah, life goes on. It goes on, yeah, life goes.
Well, the weather is not looking good today. We're expecting the downpours to continue into today's sprint. This will make for some very tricky conditions for all the teams. The ever-tightening turns of 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here in Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Albon, George Russell and Piastri, Sainz, Ocon, Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Nico Hülkenberg and Antonelli, Stroll, Hayes, Gabriel Bortoleto and Liam Lawson, Hadjar, Behrman, Doohan and Joshua Pearce rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today. Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Radio check, please. Radio check. I'm not sure we're going to be able to match our last result, but just try your best to gain a few places at the start. Okay, mate, that was an illegal manoeuvre. You've got to cede that position or we'll receive a penalty. Top 10 now, keep it up. some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Final lap, push, push. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.